Welcome to Live from Tarkov. This is Tarkov Reporter. Today, some breaking news in the Tarkov newsroom. Battlestate Games COO Nikita Buinov announced that the next major content patch, the Lighthouse Expansion patch, will include a wipe. The timing of the wipe still unknown. But it is interesting to note that contrary to what they usually do, they've let us know well in advance that the next patch is going to be a wipe. Nikita said they're still polishing that up, and we can expect some pre-wipe events in the near future. I'm betting that we will probably not have to wait any longer than a month from now, today being June the 9th. I would say at the latest, 1 month from now would be the next wipe, the next patch. It's going to be a big one, a big patch with a lot of really interesting content that Nikita spoke about at length during the TarkovTV Dev Cast on the BSG Twitch channel. Check out TarkovNews.com for all the details, but we'll roll through as much of it as we can today. And excuse my voice today. I'm suffering from a bit of a cold, and but I really wanted to do this podcast, get the information out. So we'll start with, obviously the big news was that patch will be wipe. They don't often make that known, so that's news. But also we learned about offline co-op mode coming to Escape from Tarkov. And at first it'll only be for EOD owners, but Nikita said he hopes in the future to eventually make it for all players of the game. It will be hosted on BSG servers, which is, I'm guessing, why EOD only at first, to test it out, to see how their servers can handle it. So the great thing about offline co-op mode, you'll be able to play with your friends in groups of up to 11, although Nikita said up to 20 at one point. So the group size, we need more clarity on that. Either way, it seems like a huge group of players that you can play with. Maybe it's 11 on certain maps, maybe it's 20 on other maps. I'm not sure. Maybe 20 is a Lighthouse thing, 11 would be like a customs thing, who knows. Maybe it's only 6 for factory, or 5. So yeah, we have a lot to learn still about group sizes for offline co-op, but essentially you just people play with your friends in an offline co-op game, any raid, any location you want in Tarkov, and this will be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be really interesting to watch content creators make content using the offline co-op mode. You can just imagine, inviting 10 people into a closed co-op game mode to fight it out. I think that could be really fun to watch. So the game mode's going to be unranked. Obviously, your progress on your character, you will not progress your character through this game mode. But it's also going to be great to teach new players the game, and that is where I'm hoping that we can get standard account players this game sometime soon. Because let's be honest here, they are the people who are going to benefit from it the most. That's abundantly clear. The brand new players to the game, the people who are being taught by Sherpas, for example, are going to have the opportunity to learn in raid without losing their stuff, which is big, I think, for learners. And I think it could help a lot with retention of the game and grow the community. It's fantastic. The next big thing Nikita discussed was arena mode. Now, this was announced earlier. Obviously, we saw the trailer already for arena mode. But what we didn't... We had a lot of questions, let's say. We had a lot of questions after that trailer. And Nikita ran through like a Q&A with all of it. It was great. He covered most of, I think, everybody's questions. First of all, closed testing is going to consist of the most active ETS testers. And he said like a pool of other people. I'm betting that the competitive scene will be involved in that. That's just my speculation. But I bet that, yes, the most active ETS testers. So not all ETS testers either was something interesting about that. Just the most active ones. And I would bet they reach out to some of the competitive organizations and get some of their key players involved to test it out, because that's eventually who is going to benefit most from arena is the competitive scene. Nikita said the price for arena mode won't be too expensive, but there's no price yet. So, soon TM, all this stuff. In terms of switching between arena and the main game, Nikita said it would be very easy to do if you have both copies. Again, if you have EOD, you will get arena for free. So at full launch of arena, it's going to have 5 or 6 small arenas and 1 or 2 medium-sized arenas. But during testing, it's only going to include 3 or 4 arenas, which is, still a lot if you have access to testing, although seemingly access to testing is going to be quite difficult. So good luck. Who knows when it will actually full release in terms of arena, but I'm really interested to give it a shot. I would love. I probably won't be included in ETS testing. I would say it's a long shot, given that I'm not on ETS, and who knows? We'll see. But what we do know is you're gonna be able to make custom games that'll be unranked. There'll also be ranked modes with matchmaking. Nikita said the tick rate for arena is going to be much higher than it is for regular EFT raids, and there will be some tasks to unlock certain parts of arena, like for example unlocking presets with different types of gear and weapons for use in arena. And if you have the main game as well, you'll be able to complete tasks that are associated to arena in the main game. So I'm guessing there's a quest line associated with the arena. That would make a lot of sense. Also, if you have the main game, you can use your main character in the arena if you want. But there'll be no secure containers. And Nikita said pure EFT realism. That's his words. From the mechanics to the movement to the gunplay will be exactly the same as it is in the main game as it is in arena. So inertia is here to stay. All right. Again, if you want to know more about arena mode, tarkovnews.com. We ran a piece up there. Let me quickly grab the date for you. When did that come out? June the 6th, or June the 3rd. June the 3rd was when that came out, when the arena mode trailer came out. So tarkovnews.com, click on news, scroll down to the arena mode story. All right, let's get back into it though. Lighthouse Expansion. We during the TarkovTV Dev Cast, if you've never seen one before, highly recommend it. One of the funniest things to watch is one of the BSG employees. His name is Demirka, and he has been in these podcasts for as long as I can remember, and he is the guinea pig for all of these new weapons and new features in the game. He shows us everything through his gameplay. And well, he's not Landmark. He's one of the most fun things about these devcasts is watching Demirka get absolutely wrecked by an AI scav. It's so funny. I love watching it, and I think he's unfireable at this point. My God, it's freaking hilarious to watch him and Nikita interact. It's great. It's great. Anyway, so they were trying to explore the new Lighthouse expansion on stream, but Demirka kept getting destroyed by AI scavs, and he couldn't get over there. And when he finally did, he hit a landmine. So FYI, there are landmines at the Lighthouse expansion. Good luck. So what Nikita told us about the Lighthouse expansion is when the patch drops, the expanded area is going to be free to visit, except for the lighthouse building itself. That will be inaccessible. So you'll be able to explore for a little bit, and then at a certain point, a series of in-game events will occur that close the lighthouse area entirely, and you will need some sort of special access to get there. He didn't say what that was. My guess would be some sort of a quest to get that special access to go there. Or maybe it's an in-game item that you find, like a key card or something. But I think a quest would make a lot of sense. I would bet there's a quest line associated with the Lightkeeper, for example. You know how you have to unlock... actually, they're changing this in-game, but you have to unlock Jaeger's quest line by completing a quest in the game. You also have to unlock Peacekeeper's quest line by completing quests in-game. I expect that exact same system for the Lightkeeper. So anticipate that at a certain point, in-game events will occur, Lighthouse area will be closed, and that's when maybe the Lightkeeper will enter the game. All right. Now, speaking of the Lighthouse expansion, something we expect to see on the Lighthouse in the water treatment plant are the rogue bosses coming to the game in the next update. What Nikita said today is they will be roaming bosses. They're going to be on more than just Lighthouse. They could be at Customs, for example, and potentially other maps. And when they are on Customs, they won't be on Lighthouse. When they're on Lighthouse, they won't be on Customs. So I think this is probably one of the ways they're trying to prevent people from farming Big Pipe's grenade launcher. And I also expect that he will not spawn with the grenade launcher every time he spawns. So, yeah, they showed the grenade launcher today. It's wild. it's you don't want to fight that thing. I promise you. It's not good news. Ooh, it's scary. It's real scary. Anyways, Nikita had planned to show us a video of the bosses during the devcast, but it sounded like he didn't think it was polished enough to show on stream. So expect maybe a rogue boss teaser in the near future. I'm really looking forward to fighting these guys. Maybe not on Customs. Customs could be disaster, but maybe I go snipe them on Lighthouse. That'd be cool. I wonder what Big Pipe's range is with that grenade launcher, though. That could be tricky. All right, now on to Streets of Tarkov, which we did not get a lot of info on today. There was no new Streets trailer, as there has been in the past during Summer Game Fest, which was also today. Nikita mentioned at one point that they had planned to show the arena trailer at Summer Game Fest, but for whatever reason, it wasn't included in the event, or it wasn't ready for them, or something like that. I don't know. But it didn't make it into Summer Game Fest. So no EFT news from Summer Game Fest this year. Kind of disappointing. Get your shit together, Summer Game Fest. Come on now. So in terms of Streets, though, Nikita said they are working on design and digitalization. He says it's all done in terms of level design and environment art, but it's not done in terms of playability. They really need to optimize the map, and that's the main thing they're working on right now. He said a new teaser is planned, and we don't have long to wait for the first iteration of Streets. And he called it the most complicated map in the history of video games. So, I mean, more power to him, man. It does seem like it is crazy ambitious project, and I'm really excited to play it. I hope I know they're planning for autumn 2022, fall 2022. I really hope they can get there, because I want to see this thing. I want to play it. All right, so that's it for Streets. We'll move on to some of the minor things that were added during this TarkovTV Dev Cast. And again, go to Battlestate Games Twitch channel to watch the whole thing. So next thing, Fence will have operational tasks now that you can complete on your scav. So all you scav mains, I love you. You're going to get some operational tasks now, so you can help you get to that 6.0 Fence rep, which is not the easiest thing for many people to do, although the scav mains would tell you otherwise. I think that's really cool. They operate the same way as other operational tasks do, and you can replace them as well, just like you would normally. So I'm really interested in that. That seems cool. All right, next up, we'll talk a little about animations. Nikita showed us videos of new player animations, and you can see the clip on TarkovNews.com. I expect this game's going to look real nice in the near future. And especially if you have AMD FSR, which is coming to Tarkov in the next patch also. Again, I got a clip of that on TarkovNews.com. Go check it out. Now, BSG hopes that this will improve frame rates for players who have AMD GPUs with FSR technology. Now, if you have DLSS, you maybe notice some issues when they launch DLSS, and I'm really hoping those issues can be resolved. Like the ghosting issue was really annoying, and I would love to play this game with DLSS enabled, but I can't right now because I see it as a competitive disadvantage. Hopefully they fix that, and hopefully those issues are resolved in this next patch, and there are no issues with AMD FSR, because you combine those with the new animations coming in, this game's going to look fantastic, and I really want to take advantage of that, and I know there's so many other players who do also. But either way, just the new animations alone, the game's going to look much smoother, and that's great news. Something else that showed us really interesting was IR lasers and illuminators are now only going to be visible when you have night vision goggles enabled. Nikita said they reworked night vision to suit the IR lights and lasers. So that's actually fantastic. I'm really looking forward to running night raids now and using those IR lights and lasers. I think it's going to be a cool addition to the game. And, it's another step in the right direction for the game. Love it. They showed a lot of the different new weapons coming to the game. For example, the MGL, Big Pipes grenade launcher. So one thing they did say about the MGL, it's only going to be obtainable by eliminating Big Pipe, the rogue boss, and it will not be available to list on the flea market, so it should not be that easy to obtain. Other weapons they showed, the 338 bolt action rifle, which you can put a suppressor on apparently. That sounds awesome. 7.62x54 single shot rifle, which I'm guessing will be a scav gun for the most part. There's also the Benelli M3 tactical shotgun, multiple variants of the G36, and the RD704. Something else I found really interesting coming to the game for the next patch is 3 special unlootable slots that are planned for PMCs. This will allow you to bring in a compass, rangefinder, and eventually also radios without the risk of losing those items. So the compass slot that you have now on your PMCs will be eliminated in favor of now 3 special slots, one of which you will use your compass, obviously. Also, we saw today a little bit more information on flare drops, different types of, flare guns that call air drops. Flare drops. Anyways, that was a flare drop. Okay, so different types of flare guns that can call in different types of airdrops. They're planned to enter the game. The next patch, Nikita showed us this in a previous edition of Tarkov TV. So I'm not going to spend too long on this, but you will be able to call for airdrops, which is kind of neat. There's also going to be new voice lines in the game, 2 new USEC voice lines, and 2 new Bear voice lines, which will be broken English. I love that for my Bear friends. Although I'm not sure if they'll even use it, but I love it for them anyways. Lastly, here on the Tarkov TV Dev Cast, the EOD version of the game will be removed at full launch of Escape from Tarkov. There is no public timeline for that right now. So don't freak out about this. You will not lose your things. This just means that at full launch, people won't be able to buy EOD. I think at full launch, lots of things will be different, and you will understand more when we get to full launch. This is, if you have EOD, you're gonna love it because you're gonna get access to all the DLCs without having to pay for them. And I bought EOD, and I've got thousands of hours in the game. I've never once regretted it for a second. You know, there have been many instances where I've thought real hard about uninstalling, but I never have. I've certainly never thought about getting a refund. This game has sunk its claws into me in a way that I'm sure it's sunk its claws into you if you're listening to this podcast. And I absolutely love every second of it, even when I'm getting kicked in the dick. Oh man, and they do kick you in the dick quite a bit in this game, as you know. All right, now one thing Nikita mentioned is that they have a lot of other new gear that they haven't showed us yet, and other new weapons they also haven't shown us. So there's a lot more still to come in the patch that we haven't seen yet, which is also really exciting. So big news from Tarkov TV, wipe, co-op mode, more details on Arena. We got some more details on the Lighthouse Expansion. We got to see a little bit more of it through Demirka's eyes. Love you, Demirka. We know that they're hoping to optimize streets more. It feels like they've been optimizing streets for a while. But I want to hope so bad for it. I want to play it. Anyways, let's move on though. There's one more thing I want to cover before we call it a day here. And that is the new streamer items coming to Escape from Tarkov next patch. There are 7 of them. And of course, these potentially would be part of the collector quest for Kappa, which you need to complete, obviously, to get your Kappa container. Now, these 7 streamer items, I'm going to go through them one by one, give you a breakdown of like sort of what they look like and what the story is behind them. I'll leave the most controversial of them for last. First is Bake Easy. I think this is a no-brainer. Bake Easy is a huge part of the community. His is a cookbook. I think it's easy meta recipes. Yeah, Bake Easy meta recipes. So obviously his name is Bake Easy, so it makes a lot of sense for it a cookbook. Next up is Nice Guy, and Nice Guy, you probably know if you're listening to this podcast, is one of the legendary people who covers this game. He is the OG news guy. You know, like if you're not following Nice Guy on YouTube, you're probably missing out on some good content there. So his item is a press pass. I'm jealous. I'm so jealous of the press pass. I have press passes that I have. Like I have a press pass from the 2010 Winter Olympics in Vancouver from when I was covering that. And you're probably thinking, holy crap, this guy's so old. It's because I am. But I had just started university. Oh my God, I'm really dating myself. Anyways, I was covering the Winter Olympics, and I've still held on this press pass. Press passes for people who have been to major events as journalists. There are some pretty cool ones, and I'm jealous of Nolan, Nice Guy, for getting this press pass. It's pretty cool. Very deserving. Next up is Axel. He's getting a parrot as a streamer item. I'm told, I can't confirm this, but I'm told that this has to do with when he lived in London. He used to love to go to the park and feed the birds. I could be getting completely baited, but that seems to be what multiple people have told me. So it's not just a one-off single person memeing this. There are at least multiple people either lying to me or telling the truth that that's maybe some sentimental value for Axel, which is cool. All right, next up we got Glorious E. Again, Glorious is a no-brainer. He gets a mask that sort of resembles his logo. I don't know the story behind that. I've asked, but I haven't heard anything. If you don't know Glorious E, one of the great people in the community. Go check him out. Next up we got Meyer, the first German streamer to get a streamer item. And his is a golden egg. The word for egg in German is Eier. So if you were to say my egg, it would be mein Eier. And that sounds a lot like Meyer, which is, I'm told, so Meyer told me this directly. It has a lot to do. I gotta say what's true. Apparently there are some, let's say, testicle-related jokes associated with his name in German, and they've become quite pretty common on his stream. So if you tune into Meyer pretty often, you know what I'm talking about. Shout out to the German Twitch community. Love you guys. There are some truly great people in the German EFT community in particular. Next up, Dan Exert. His item are car keys, and if you've ever followed Dan on Twitch or Twitter or anywhere else, you'd know that he's a big car guy. He's also a BSG emissary, hugely involved in the EFT community, and so if you want, you can go get the keys to Dan's Nissan Z. He's from the UK, so I'm going to say Z, not Z. And lastly, the most controversial addition of these streamer items, Dr. Disrespect, the doc himself. He gets a red P.A.K.A. armor vest. Look, I don't think it took BSG too long to recolor the P.A.K.A. to red. I'm going to go on a limb and say that was not the most difficult thing for them to do. So they didn't waste any time making this streamer item. And I think this is a massive business opportunity for them to bring the dock more into this game. And what a time to do that with offline co-op mode coming in. You don't think the doc would love to invite 10 of his friends to come play offline Tarkov with him? I'm guaranteeing that happens. And especially when Arena drops, they might give Doc testing privileges for that. Now that's just me speculating, but I mean, I'd let Doc see it. I think that'd be great. They probably won't. I don't know. I think it'd be cool. Anyways, but look, this is a massive business opportunity for them. I heard a lot of people really angry about this decision because there are a lot of really deserving streamers out there who should get streamer items. And I will talk about those in a minute. But let's think for a second here that when BSG comes up with a list of streamers getting streamer items, I'm betting they set one slot aside every time for someone who would be someone who would help grow their audience. And Dr. Disrespect is exactly that. Go look at his YouTube channel at the amount of views. It's outrageous. So yes, many other deserving people, but I'm betting they set one slot aside every time for someone with a different set of criteria. And then the other 6 that have come in this time are obviously big parts of the community. And you want to at me about any of these other 6 guys, like, forget it. That's a fight you're losing. These are 6 people who deserve this. And I would fight you on it. The doc, though, obviously not a big part of the EFT community. I will say, though, he's played it off and on for years. And a couple years ago was involved in the running of a tournament. I think it was called Code Red. And I remember that tournament including a lot of EFT streamers, EFT mains, who were not yet household names and have become household names since then. So I think the doc has had maybe a bigger influence on our community than even we think. And I think he can have even more of an influence going forward with things like arena mode and offline co-op, which I think he's going to love. So let's get off the doc. I have spent more time defending Dr. Disrespect in the past week than I ever thought I would. And it's not something I saw myself doing. But I really think it's a good business move for BSG and good on them for doing it. They want to grow their game. They want to grow their business. This is a good business move. This is a good marketing move. Good on BSG for doing it. And I think that Doc is going to embrace this game too. He's going to embrace it. Okay, so all these items probably going to be included in the collector quest for Kappa. It's possible that they would change that up in some way, but I also don't see why you wouldn't. It's not that difficult to collect 7 more items for Kappa. By the time you reach level 62, if you haven't been able to collect these items and you're not trying to farm them, you're not trying to get Kappa. Because this is a Kappa quest. And if you're not actively trying to get these items, and if you can't get them by the time you're level 62, you're either just hitting some crazy bad RNG, or there's an item that they've made unobtainable, essentially, like the evasion armband was the first wipe it came out. Now, I want to go through a list of people who I think deserve to get a streamer item next. And I'm going to start with the women of our community who are not well enough represented on this list as is. There's only one woman with a streamer item in EFT, and that's Sigma. She's got the evasion armband. I think there are plenty of other women who are deserving. I'm going to go through a short list of people I think should get this item. And I'm gonna start with the women because I think this is something that BSG needs to look at. With only one woman honored in this way, that's unacceptable to me. So first up, we've got Genitals. That's an easy decision for me. Very easy decision. Genitals absolutely deserves a streamer item in this game. And she would be the next person to get it for me if I was making that decision. The other women I would include in this list are Gingy, Nixia, Endra, Baraki, and Ammunition. Now, I don't know what BSG is thinking on this. I don't know what their criteria is, but those women are clearly deserving of this. And if Genitals doesn't get one, I'm gonna be shouting from the rooftops, man. That is wild. That hasn't happened yet. The other people I would include on this list are Geeksay, one of my all-time favorites, Canadian content creator, both on YouTube and Twitch. I learned a lot from him when I was getting to know the game myself. Now to have Trey24K, Smitty Stone, Hyper Rat, and this is in no particular order. I want to say, absolutely no particular order. I just made a list, and it's not even alphabetical. It's nothing. It's just like, oh, these are people that came up. So we said Trey, we said Smitty, we said Hyper, Masochist, Rengar, Batty, Robin, One Peg, Jesse Kazam, That Friendly Guy, Tweak, Toast Rack, Anton, and Chief GG. Plenty of more deserving people. Like I don't watch a lot of Facebook streamers, so I'm sure there are people there who are deserving. And I'm sure there are some YouTubers that I'm missing who are deserving as well. I'm also certain that there are some Asian content creators that are deserving, some Spanish speaking or Portuguese speaking or other languages that I don't speak content creators who are very deserving. Hopefully BSG has done their due diligence on this to pick out some deserving content creators from those parts of the world as well. If you want to see the new streamer items coming to the game, go to tarkovnews.com and click on the story of the new streamer items that was written on June the 8th. All right, that's going to do it for today. Solid podcast. I actually had to re-record this because I messed up on the audio. So I had fun, though. I hope you had fun listening. Thanks so much for hanging out today. Let me know on Twitter or Instagram or TikTok what you're looking forward to about the wipe. I'm excited. I'm excited for all of it. We don't know when it's going to be yet. I'm especially excited for the pre-wipe events. I do love a good pre-wipe event. And I'm level 55. I'm almost 56. I might go for Kappa. I'm not sure. I don't have the time unless it's like the first week of July that we get wipe. Then I probably have time. But realistically, I probably don't have time to get Kappa. Sad. Let me know if you're close to Kappa, if you're going for it. Hit me up, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, anywhere. TarkovNews.com. Thanks for listening to the podcast today. Tell your friends about it. Give it a 5-star review. And hopefully we got some pre-web events to talk about very soon. We may be back on the pod very shortly. We also got some very cool people getting involved in the pod probably by the end of June. That's exciting. All right, I'll leave you there. Thanks again for listening. We'll see you all next time.